Hello everyone. So today we're going to take a look at some ArcGIS Pro processing tools. In particular, we're going to take a look at Select, Append, Merge, and Clip. And although there's way more geoprocessing tools in ArcGIS Pro, these are just the ones that we're going to focus on today. We're going to get started. The data that I'm using is actually from Gore and Kirkland. It's assignment 6-1 in their book. And so we're just going to come here and we're going to open up assignment 6-1. And when you open up assignment 6-1, all of the data is already within our geodatabase, so it's ready to go. So the first thing we're going to do is use a select tool. And what we want to do is create a new layer. And this new layer is going to be comprised of the counties of Hays, Travis, and Williamson, Texas. And then we're going to label those counties. And so here's the map that pops up. Here's Texas. And this is going to be our study area right here. And what we want to do, again, is select 3 counties. And we want to just create these 3 counties as basically our study site or our study location. So when I come here and I take a look at all the data that we have in this geodatabase, we notice that Texas counties is one of them. So if I right-click on Texas counties and I take a look at the attribute table, you'll notice that in this attribute table, we have all of the counties in Texas, and there's quite a few of them. As a matter of fact, this has 254 different layers. All we want to do, of course, is focus on those 3, which is Hays, Travis, and Williamson. So what I'm going to do is a select by attributes. You could do a select by location, but select by attributes, I think, is a much better way to do this, and it's a little bit quicker. Now, there's 2 ways to get to the select by attributes. One of them is to click on this in the attribute table, or we can come up here and click this one, select by attributes in the tool ribbon, which is under map and selection. So I'll just use this one at the top. So I'm going to get rid of the attribute table. I've got Texas counties is activated. Select by attributes. And then our input row is going to be Texas counties. We have a new selection. That's our selection type. And if we use the pull down menu, we could add to current selection. We could remove from current selection. I'm just going to say new selection. Then here in the expression field, the where is going to be the name is equal to, and remember, we're looking for Hays, Travis, and Williamson. So I'm going to select Hays from the list. So I'll come down here. Remember, there's 254, so it's going to take a second. Here it is. Here's Hays. So right now, I've got Hays selected. But remember, I wanted 2 more. So I'm going to add a clause. And I don't want and, because if it's name is equal to Hays and name is equal to Travis, then I'm going to have 0 selection because there's nothing here that has 2 names. So name is equal to Hays, or name is equal to Travis, which is our second one. And I can just click T and it should take me down to the T's. So let's go down. Here's Travis. Add a clause, or name is equal to Williamson, because that was our last one that we were after. Williamson. There it is. Okay, so now I've got a select by attributes. I've got the 3 counties I want, Hays, Travis, and Williamson. Now I click apply. And you can see I'll click OK. Right here, the selection's been made. And these 3 counties have been selected out of all the counties here. Now remember, this was a new layer. So what I'm going to do is right click on this, and we're just going to have, or we're going to say selection. We want make layer from selected features. I always sort of like doing this. And then now we've got our new layer, and we're going to call this Hays. Actually, we'll just call this Austin Metro Counties. These, of course, aren't all the counties, but these are the 3 counties in the Austin metro area. And now what I'm going to do, now that I've got Austin metro counties, I'll just turn off the Texas counties, and you can see that this is the one we want, and I'm going to zoom into it. So I'm going to right click and I'll say zoom to layer. So now I've got the 3 counties here. I'm going to change my symbology a little bit so that we can see it a little bit nicer. I'll just put black outline. And now you can see these counties really nicely. And in addition to that, I can label these counties. So I'm going to right click, label, and you can see the 3 labels pop up. The labeling here sort of sucks. I mean, you can't read it particularly well. So I'm going to right click here again and go labeling properties. And for my labeling properties, what I'm going to do is change the text a little bit so that it's a little bit easier for me to read. So I click on symbol, and then I'll click on appearance. And then right now the font is Tahoma. I mean, Tahoma's fine. I'm just going to make it 14 point so it's bigger. I'll say apply, and you can see that it's gotten bigger, but the black fill color is not particularly good here. So I'm going to change it to this ready color and click apply. Well, that's not good. That sucks too. So we're going to change the color. Let's go here to a deeper type blue. Now that doesn't look the greatest still, so I'll change the appearance. I'm going to put a halo around this. We'll put a white halo and we'll see if that makes a difference. There you go. So I like this. This is going to be my labeling. So now we've got Williamson, Travis, and Hayes. So we've done the first thing we wanted to do, which was create a new layer by select by attribute, and it wasn't particularly difficult to do. The next tool we want to use is Append. Now Append is sort of like a join, but with Append, we can use it to add new features or other data from multiple data sets into an existing data set. And so what we want to do here is take Hayes County cities and we want to append it to Austin metro cities. So here we've got Hayes cities. Here is metro cities, the Austin metro cities. So we want to append this guy into this guy. Now, very quickly, I can right click on Austin metro cities. We'll take a look at the attribute table, and you'll notice that all of these cities are cities in the 3 metro counties of Williamson, Travis, and Hayes. And so those are all the counties that we see in this attribute table. Let me close this, and let's take a look at Hayes cities. So I'll right click on Hayes, and I'll take a look at this attribute table. Let's get rid of that. And you'll notice that these are all the county, or these are all areas or cities in Hayes County. So what we want to do is append this one, Austin metro cities, and we want to add the Hayes County cities to it. So I'm just going to simply activate Austin metro counties. Then I'll click on my analysis tab. And now you'll notice that I've got all these tools in the analysis tab. ArcGIS Pro makes this pretty easy for us. We're just going to scroll down and find the Append tool. So here it is. We'll click on the Append tool, and our input data set is going to be Hayes cities. We're going to leave everything here as it is, and our target data set is going to be Austin metro cities. So again, our input is Hayes County cities. We want to append it to Austin metro cities. So this is all we're doing. We're using the Append tool. The input is Hayes. The target is Austin. And then that's all we're going to do. We're going to leave everything else as default. And we're going to click Run. And so this runs the append. It says it's been completed. So now what I should be able to do is open up Austin metro cities, right click it. And when I right click on it and I look on the attribute table, all those cities from Hayes should be here on our list. And there they are. Okay, so now we've done a select, we've done an append, and you can see the append is sort of like a join, and again, it's not particularly difficult to append it using the Append tool on ArcGIS Pro. The next tool we're going to use is going to be Clip. And what we'd like to do is take the urban areas here, and we want to clip it so that the only thing that the urban areas are showing is going to be within our study area here. You'll notice that with this urban areas legend, or excuse me, urban areas layer, part of that layer actually extends outside of this whole selected region of these 3 counties. You can see here it goes outside, here and here it goes outside as well. What we can do is clip it so that the only urban areas that we're looking at are actually going to be inside of this study area. So that's the next thing we want to do, is a new feature class of urban area polygons that are clipped to the Hayes, Travis, and Williamson counties only. So this is how we do this. And again, we're going to come back up here and use our clip tool that's in the tools under the analysis area. So we hit clip, and now our input features or data set is going to be urban areas. The clip feature is going to be our Austin metro counties, because remember, we want to clip the urban areas and just keep it inside the Austin metro counties. So that's what we're going to do. And now we can create a new name. I'm just going to keep the name of urban areas clip, and I'm going to click run and see what happens and cross my fingers. Okay, so there it is. It's completed. Now, as you're looking at this, you're going, oh, it didn't seem to work because we still see the urban areas out here. Well, that's because we've got the urban areas still on. So let me get rid of that, and voila, you'll see that it disappears. So urban areas is here, and if I turn that off, you'll notice all the urban areas disappear. If I turn it on, the urban areas come back up. Our original urban areas extended beyond this area here, and so we just used the clip feature and we were able to clip the other stuff out of what we're doing. So that's the clip tool. So now that we have the urban areas clip, and I'll change the name just so that it actually follows the assignment. I'm going to change the name to Austin Metro Urban Areas. So this is our clipped Austin Metro Urban Areas. So that's what we want. Now that we've got our clipped Austin area, what we want to do now is clip all the cities that are within the Austin urban metro area. So we're going to use clip again because we've got these 3 cities, the Austin metro cities, the ones that are in Williamson, Travis, and Hayes. And what we want to do is just select all the cities that are within the Austin metro area. So again, we're going to use the clip tool. So we'll click on clip. And our input feature now is going to be Austin metro cities. And remember, this has the appended Hayes inside of it as well. The clip feature is going to be the Austin metro urban areas, because that's what we want to clip. And the name of this, we'll actually change the name right away so I don't have to change it later. So this is going to be Austin. This will be Austin urban area cities. Okay, and so let's click run and see what happens. Okay, so it's done. That clip was completed. I'm going to turn off Austin Metro Urban Areas, so that turns off, and Austin Urban Area Cities is on. So this might be a little hard to see. Let me turn this guy off as well. So we're going to turn off all the urban metro cities. And you know what? Let's get the streets off because that's taken a lot of our time. All right, so there we go. If I just had the original Austin metro cities, then these are the metro cities. And you'll notice I've got cities outside of urban areas. Now, if I click on the Austin urban area cities, nothing changes, right? Because I'm selecting cities. But if I get rid of this, then some of the cities will disappear. So voila. So the cities that are outside of the urban areas disappear. So let me show that again. These are the Austin urban area cities. We can turn in Austin metro urban areas. And so again, you notice now that the only cities selected are the ones within the urban areas. Now these are interesting here. Oh, that's because I got Hayes cities. Let me turn that one off. I was going, what happened? It's not working, but it's working. So again, we have all these Austin urban area cities. And if I turn that off, if I just looked at the Austin metro cities, these are all of them, including Hayes. But if I get rid of that and just look at the Austin urban cities, then these are all the cities that are within the urban areas. So just to summarize, the first thing we did, we selected by attribute Williamson, Travis, and Hayes. We appended the Hayes cities into the Austin metro cities database. Then we had our urban areas, and we clipped all the urban areas to be only within this study area. And then we selected only the cities, or we clipped only the cities that are within the urban areas. So we've done all these things. Now the next thing we want to do is label the city names. That's not particularly difficult. So again, we're going to right click here. We're going to label. And now all these cities are up and labeled. I think that's cumbersome, to be perfectly honest with you. So for just the time being, I'm going to get rid of all the labels because I don't want that. The only labels I want at the moment are Hayes, Travis, and Williamson. Okay, the next thing we want to do is take a look at the Austin metro urban area streets. So now we want to have a feature class of the 3 county streets merged and then clipped to the Austin metro urban areas. So you'll notice that in this data set, we've got Hayes streets, we've got Travis streets, and we've got Williamson streets. So the first thing we want to do is merge all of these streets together into a single layer. And then what we want to do is select or clip only the streets that are within the urban metro area. Okay, so now what we're going to do is use the merge tool. So we come up here and we find the merge tool. There it is. And now this is sort of similar to Append, a little bit different because we're merging 3 layers together versus adding a layer to something singular. So here we're going to input data sets, and we can use this pull down menu here. And I want to select Hayes streets, Travis streets, and Williamson streets. So those are the 3 street layers. I'm going to add it. So these are our 3 streets. And now we've got an output data set. So I'm just going to simply call this Austin metro urban areas streets. It's not the urban area just yet. This is all of them, but that's okay. We'll just keep this as is. All these other things here, and just leave it as default, and that should be fine for you. So let's click run. Well, fine for us. So we're going to click run here, and we're going to try to merge these 3 data sets together, or these 3 layers together. This will take a little bit longer because we're adding more data. Okay, we're 95%, 98%, fingers crossed. Merge complete. Very cool. So let's get rid of this. Let's turn off all of our streets, our 3 layers of streets. But again, we've got our Austin metro urban area streets. So now we've got 1 layer, and that 1 layer has all the streets in it. So we don't need to have these 3 street layers anymore. You know, as a matter of fact, I'm going to get rid of them. Might as well. We don't need it anymore. So I'm going to remove all these street layers. We don't need them in our data set anymore. So we'll get rid of them. You know what else we don't need? We don't need this urban area. So I'm going to get rid of it. I'm just going to clean things up a little bit. We don't need Texas County. So I'm going to right click and remove that as well. I'll keep everything else. Actually, we don't need Hayes cities. So I'm going to remove that also. So now our table of contents is becoming much more manageable. So now what we want to do though is we want to get rid of some of these streets. We just want to clip all the streets that are within the urban area because there's a lot of streets. And so we just want the streets that are here in this urban zone. Not a problem. So once again, we're going to use our clip tool. And our input data feature set right now is going to be the urban area streets. And our clip feature is going to be our Austin Metro urban areas. That's what we want. And then we'll just call it Austin Metro urban area street clip. We'll just keep that name for the moment, and I'll click run. And again, this will take a second because you'll notice that we've got a lot of features because there's so many streets that we're dealing with. Okay, it says the clip is completed. So let's turn off all the streets. And you can see that all the streets that are only within this urban zone are saved. That's very cool, actually. So these are all the streets. We can zoom in if you don't believe that they're streets and it's just one clump. You can see that when we zoom in, these are indeed streets. And there's just a lot of them. So this is why we're clipping the streets. We should really only follow the streets that we need because otherwise it just gets way too cumbersome. And what we're doing here in this project is just simply making a study area. So now that we've got our streets, I'm going to get rid of this layer. We just simply don't need it anymore. Okay, so now that we've got the streets, the last thing that we want to do is create another feature class of the 3 county water features merged and then clipped to the Austin Metro urban area. So once again, we've got 3 water feature here. We've got Hayes water, we've got Williamson water, and we've got Travis water. And so these water features are sort of hard to see on the map with all the streets. So let's get rid of the streets and you can see it better. So we'll turn Hayes on, and it was hard to see. Let me zoom in. So we'll zoom to layer. And when you do this, if we turn Hayes water on and off, you can see like right here, the water features are off and now they're on. And Williamson, we'll go to the Williamson area and we'll turn water on. There's a lot more water feature in Williamson than there is in Hayes. And then here's the Travis water features. So we'll click on Travis, and there's a lot more water features in Travis. And so again, what we want to do is just create one layer. So we're going to merge our 3 water layers together. And then we're going to clip it to the urban zone and only concentrate on them. Okay, so once again, we click on analysis. We've got our tools. And now we're going to go to merge once again. So here's merge. Our input data sets are going to be all the water ones. Hayes, Travis, and Williamson. Click add. And we'll just call this Hayes water merge. And we'll let this thing run. This should go a little bit quicker. There's not nearly as many water features as streets. Okay, so that's it. We've got all of our water features. Let's go to the map and we can zoom out a little bit. And so we've got our one layer now, our merged layer of water, which is this one. So that's Hayes water merge. Let's get rid of these other water layers. Remove. Remove. And finally remove. Okay, so we've got Hayes water. Yay. But now we don't want all the water features. Again, we are just looking at this urban area. This is our study set. So we only care about information inside the study set. So once again, we're going to need to clip, and we're going to clip the water layer into the urban zone here. So once again, we go back to our analysis tool, and we're going to select clip again. There it is. Whew, thought I lost it. Okay, the input feature set is going to be our water. So our Hayes water merge. And then again, the clip feature is going to be the Austin metro area. And we'll just call this, well, this is, we're going to give it a better name. We'll call this Austin Metro Urban Areas Water. And then we'll click run. And so now we're just going to clip out all the other water, and the only water that we'll keep is the one that's within the urban area. So let's get rid of this guy. You can see all this water disappears. We're going to remove it. You might be asking, well, is it in there? I don't see any water. Let's zoom to that layer. We'll zoom in further. That's not enough. So here we go, and let's turn the water off, and now the water on. So water off, water on, and we can see this nice flowing river right here in the middle. All right, so there it is. We have taken the initial data set, which was all of the counties in Texas, and we selected these 3 counties. We then had all the cities in Williamson and Travis, and we appended Hays to it. Then we had this urban area that went beyond our study zone of these 3 counties, and we clipped it. Then we took the cities that are of interest to us, which are within the urban area, and we clipped it to the urban area. Then we took all these streets, and then we just clipped it to the urban area as well. So we're only looking at streets here. And then finally, we did the same with water. So once again, this is sort of a simple way to do some of these geoprocessing tools. Now, there's one final question that we can actually answer, which is really cool. And this is on the assignment in the Gore and Kirkland book. And the question reads as follows. In Austin metro urban area cities, which is this one. So it says, create a field called population change and calculate the population change, which is actual population, not percentage change, for cities from years 2000 to 2010. Create an alias for this field. Show the cities using graduated points based on the population changes, considering some cities had a negative change in population. This is sort of cool. Let's right-click on this layer, Austin Urban. And remember, the Austin urban area cities, these are all the cities within the Austin urban area. So we've got 26 cities. And you'll notice, too, that we have population. And the population is from 2000, and we've got population in 2010. What we want to do is add a field. So we're going to add a field. And this field is going to be called, what did they say they wanted? Pop change. So we'll do pop change. We'll keep the data type as long because we want numbers. Actually, yeah, we'll keep the data type as long because that also matches pop 2000 and pop 2010. And so that's it. We've added this. So I'm just going to click return. Okay, so now we've added the field. And if I get rid of this, save all changes, yes. And we go back and we take a look at our Austin urban area cities, this new field is going to be in the attribute table. So here it is, and here it is, population change. You'll notice it's all null right now because we haven't done anything with it. So we're just going to click on it, and then we're going to right-click and select Calculate Field. And so this will open up our field calculator. And so this is our input table. We're not doing anything. This is our field name, population change. And all we're going to do here is say population change equals. We want to look at population change. So we're going to do population 2010. I double clicked on that. Minus population 2000. Double click on that. Click apply. And then OK. And now you can see that population change is now populated into this field. You'll notice too that in a place like Serenata, the population actually decreased in those 10 years by about 206 people. But in these other places, it increased quite a bit. In Round Rock, it increased by almost 39,000. But then down here in Windermere, it decreased by 5,800. So it's really interesting data. So let's close this attribute table. Now what it says is in the instructions, we can use graduated points based on population, and we can really see some cool stuff. So we're going to right click on this, and we're going to click on symbology. And we don't want to use single symbol. We want to use graduated. So we're going to use graduated. This has graduated colors. I don't want that. I want graduated symbols because this will create symbols of different sizes. And so the field that we're looking at is going to be population change. And we'll just keep natural changes or natural breaks. That's fine. And you'll notice that the lesser the population change, and here it's in the negative, then the smaller the circle is going to be, and the greater the population change, the bigger the circle is going to be. You can even change the minimum size and the maximum size. For me, I'm going to change the minimum size to like 1 point, because if it's negative, I want to make sure that it looks really small on the map. And I'll change the maximum size to maybe something like 20. I just want it to stand out a little bit more. We've got 5 classes here. If you wanted to make it more classes, you could. If we wanted to change it to 7, then we can do that as well. And that gives you a little bit more variation. And so that's it. That's our symbology. You can change the color if you wanted by double clicking on the template, and then you can even change the symbol to something else. I think I'm just going to keep it as is at the moment. It's fine by me. In terms of property, I might change the color though. Let's change the color. I'll make it pop with a nice blue, and I'll apply that. So there we go. That comes out really nicely. So again, here are areas of population change. The very small dot right here is indicative of a negative number, and the bigger circles here are indicative of bigger population change. Okay, so that's it. That is a quick tutorial on using select by attributes, the append, clip, merge tool, and then even doing a little bit of symbology. All right, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. I appreciate it, and until next time, bye-bye.